Daniel could not move. His eyes were locked on the strange figure standing in the clearing. The alien mother held her child close to her chest. Her arms shook, not from weakness, but from fear. The way she clutched the small body was the same way any mother would hold her baby. The human part of Daniel wanted to comfort her. The other part, the fearful part, wanted to run far away. The alien spoke again, but this time her lips moved. The sound was strange, layered with tones that did not belong to any human language. And yet, somehow, Daniel understood. Please. My baby won't wake up. You must help her. Daniel swallowed hard. His voice cracked when he finally spoke. What? What do you want from me? She stepped closer. Moonlight fell across her face. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, shifting slightly as if alive. Her eyes glowed softly, bright blue, but inside them was something Daniel never expected to see: hope. My child's life fades. Our science cannot save her, she said. Only you can. Daniel shook his head in disbelief. I'm not a doctor. I don't even know what you are. His voice trembled. The mother lowered her head. She looked almost ashamed. You are human. That is enough. Those words hit him harder than he wanted to admit. Enough. How could he be enough for something like this? He was just a man in a small town, fixing broken radios. He had never even left Earth. And now an alien was telling him that only he could save her child. Daniel took a slow step forward, his flashlight shaking in his hand. The beam of light fell on the child in her arms. The little one was small, fragile, with skin that glowed faintly pale blue. Its chest rose and fell so slowly that Daniel thought it might stop at any moment. He felt something stir inside him, a memory. His younger sister, years ago, lying in a hospital bed, pale and weak. He remembered how helpless he had felt watching her fight for every breath. She had survived, but the fear from those nights had never left him. Now he saw the same fear reflected in the alien mother's eyes. The silence of the forest grew heavy. Daniel whispered, "Why me?" The alien looked straight into his eyes. Because you are human. Your kind carries something my kind has lost. Daniel blinked. He had no idea what she meant. Still, her words carried weight, as if they were carved in stone. Then the baby stirred. A faint sound escaped its lips, like a sigh. Then its body went still again. The mother's face twisted with panic. She fell to her knees, holding the child out toward Daniel. Please, she begged. Touch her. Your touch can bring her back. Daniel froze. His chest tightened. This was madness. How could his touch do anything? And what if the child carried a disease, something deadly? His mind screamed for caution, but his heart screamed louder. He stepped closer. The mother's hands trembled as she offered her child to him. Daniel looked down at the small face. The baby looked peaceful, like sleeping, but its color was fading, light draining away. His hands shook as he reached out. The moment his skin touched the child's, a strange feeling rushed through him. It was warm, no, more than warm. It was alive. A pulse of energy traveled up his arm, filling his chest with heat. The baby's chest rose a little stronger. A faint glow spread from where Daniel's hand rested. The mother gasped. Her eyes widened with awe. It's working, she whispered. Daniel's heart raced. He didn't know if he should be terrified or amazed. The glow spread farther, wrapping around the baby like a cocoon of soft blue light. For a moment, he thought he might actually be saving her. Then, suddenly, the glow flickered. The baby's body twitched violently. Its breathing turned shallow and uneven. Daniel pulled his hand back, startled. No? The mother cried, "Don't stop." Daniel hesitated, fear rising in his throat. I don't understand what's happening. The alien mother's voice grew sharp, desperate. You carry the spark. Without you, she will die. Her words echoed in the clearing. The spark. What did that mean? Daniel's mind spun. He had never felt so small, so unprepared. But as he looked at the child's face, pale and still, he realized he had no choice. He could not stand by and watch a baby die not again. He pressed his hand back to the child's chest. The glow surged stronger this time, spreading through his arm, into his body. His heartbeat quickened until he thought his chest would burst. His vision blurred. It felt as if the baby was pulling something out of him, drinking his very life. The mother knelt closer, her face inches from his. "Hold on," she whispered. "Do not let go." Daniel gritted his teeth. Sweat ran down his face. The glow pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat. Faster, stronger. Then suddenly, the baby took a deep breath. A sound so normal, so human, filled the air. A cry. Weak, but alive. The mother gasped, her eyes flooding with tears. She clutched the child back into her arms. She breathes. She lives. Daniel stumbled back, collapsing to his knees. His chest heaved as he tried to catch his breath. His entire body felt drained, like he had just run miles. The alien mother looked at him with gratitude so deep it almost broke him. "You are more than I hoped," she whispered. "But now, we must move. Others will come." Her words sent a chill down his spine. Others? Who else knew? Before Daniel could ask, a strange noise cut through the night, a sharp, metallic hum. It came from the trees beyond the clearing. Shadows moved. The encounter was not over. It was only the beginning. Daniel's chest still burned from the strange energy he had felt. His hand tingled as if fire still lived under his skin. He sat on the cold ground, trying to breathe, while the alien mother clutched her baby tightly. The child gave a soft cry, again weak, but alive. The sound filled the clearing with relief, yet Daniel's heart could not rest. From the shadows of the forest came that metallic hum again. It was low at first, then louder, like heavy machines moving through the trees. The alien mother turned her glowing eyes toward the noise. Her silver skin shifted like rippling water. Her expression was no longer only fear, it was warning. "They are coming," she whispered. Daniel's voice shook. "Who's coming?" She looked at him, her eyes sharp, almost piercing. Not friends, not saviors. Hunters. A chill crawled down Daniel's spine. He had already seen more than he thought possible: an alien ship, an alien mother, a child he had somehow healed. But the idea of hunters made his blood turn cold. The hum grew louder. Branches snapped in the distance. Strange lights flickered. Between the trees, not like flashlights, but beams of red scanning across the forest floor. Daniel's instincts screamed at him to run. But before he could move, the alien mother placed a hand on his shoulder. Her skin was cool, almost metallic, but her touch was steady. "You must not leave me now," she said. "The child needs you. You carry what we cannot." Daniel shook his head. "I don't understand what's happening. Why me? Why humans?" "What do you mean I carry something?" The mother looked at her baby, then back at Daniel. Her voice softened. "Our science is greater than yours. We can cross the stars. We can bend matter. But we lost something long ago. Something no machine can create. Life's spark. The fire of renewal. Humans still carry it. That is why my child responded to you." Daniel felt dizzy. Life's spark. "You make it sound like magic." "'Tis not magic," she replied firmly. "It is truth. My people fear it. Some want to destroy it. Others want to use it." Daniel stared at her, stunned. "And the ones coming now, which are they?" Her silence was the answer. The hum turned into sharp, clicking sounds, like metal feet stepping on dry branches. Red lights grew brighter. Shadows shaped like tall figures appeared between the trees. The alien mother pulled Daniel to his feet. "Stand. Do not fear. You have already touched what is greater than them." Daniel's legs felt weak, but her words pushed him to move. He stood beside her, facing the dark line of trees. His flashlight flickered, then died completely. The clearing glowed only from the faint blue light of the mother and child. Out of the trees stepped three tall shapes. They looked like twisted reflections of the mother, but darker. Their bodies were covered in black armor, sharp and jagged. Their eyes burned red like hot coals. Daniel's throat went dry. Aliens, more of them. The mother's voice grew sharp. "Not my people. Shadows of them. They hunt the spark. They destroy what they cannot control." The tallest of the dark figures spoke, its voice a harsh growl. "You should not have touched the child, human." Daniel staggered back. They spoke his language perfectly. "How do you know English?" he asked. Barely whispering, the figure tilted its head. "We know all tongues. We know your kind, weak, fragile, useful only as fuel." The mother held her child closer and hissed in anger. "You will not have her." The red-eyed figures moved forward slowly, surrounding the clearing. Daniel felt his stomach twist. He had no weapon, no plan, no strength left after what he had done. One of the hunters extended a clawed hand toward him. "Give us the human. His spark will burn bright in our machines." Daniel's heart pounded so hard it hurt. His legs wanted to collapse. He had never felt so powerless. Yet when he looked at the alien child in her mother's arms, he remembered the small cry he had heard, the life he had helped pull back. His fear turned into something else. Not courage, not yet, but refusal. He stepped closer to the mother and stood between her and the hunters. His voice shook, but he forced the words out. "You're not touching her. Or me." The hunters paused. Their red eyes narrowed. One let out a harsh, metallic laugh. "You think a human can stand against us?" it mocked. Daniel's knees trembled, but he didn't move. The mother's voice rose behind him. Stronger now. He is human. That is enough. The air grew tense. The hunters studied him, their eyes burning brighter, scanning him as if measuring his worth. Daniel could feel something. Inside, an echo of the energy that had passed through him into the child. His chest burned faintly, like embers still glowing after a fire. The tallest hunter hissed. "Not yet. He is not ready. Take the coordinates. Others will come." The figures stepped back into the trees, their red lights fading until only silence remained. The hum grew distant, then vanished. Daniel's body nearly collapsed, but the mother caught his arm. Her strength was surprising, even gentle. "You see now," she said softly. "They fear what you hold. You are not safe anymore. None of your kind are." Daniel swallowed hard, his mind spinning. What? What happens now? The mother looked at her baby, who breathed calmly in her arms. Then she looked back at Daniel. Her voice was quiet, but heavy with meaning. "Now, human, your first contact begins." The forest was silent again, but Daniel's chest was still pounding. The red-eyed hunters had vanished into the night, leaving behind only fear. He stood weakly, his legs trembling, while the alien mother held her child close. The baby's breathing had steadied, but it was still faint. Each rise and fall of the small chest seemed fragile, like a candle flame ready to blow out. Daniel watched, his heart twisting with worry. The mother turned to him. Her glowing blue eyes searched his face. "The spark is inside you," she said softly, "but it is not enough to touch. You must give more." Daniel shook his head quickly. More. I already almost collapsed back there. I felt like I was burning inside. The mother's gaze did not soften. Yes, that is the price. Life must flow from you to her. Your spark can awaken what lies asleep. But if you stop now, she will fall again. Daniel's stomach tightened. He thought of what had happened when he touched the baby the first time, the heat, the glow, the draining of his strength. What if he gave too much? What if he died? The mother seemed to read his fear. She knelt down in front of him, holding the child so close that Daniel could see every detail of her small face. The baby's eyelids fluttered, her lips parted slightly. But no sound came. You ask why humans are needed, the mother whispered. This is why. Your kind carries balance, light, and shadow together. No machine can copy it. No other species carries it. Only you. Daniel stared at the baby. For a moment, it didn't matter that she was alien. She looked fragile. Just a child who needed help. And he remembered his sister again, how close he had come to losing her, how powerless he had felt. He could not stand by now, not when he was the only one who could act. He nodded slowly. Tell me what to do. The mother's silver skin shimmered faintly in the dark. She placed the child carefully in Daniel's arms. Her voice grew steady, almost ceremonial. Hold her close. Close your eyes. Let your breath join hers. Do not fear the fire. Fire does not only destroy, also creates. Daniel held the baby against his chest. She felt so light, almost weightless. He closed his eyes, forcing his breath to slow. His thoughts raced, but then he felt it again, that warmth deep inside. That strange ember glowing in his heart. The ember spread, moving into his arms, flowing into the small body pressed against him. A faint blue light grew between them. At first, it was gentle, like a quiet river. But then it grew stronger, surging like a storm. Daniel gasped. His muscles tightened. His chest felt like it was on fire. The baby's body twitched, her small fingers curling. A weak cry escaped her lips. The glow grew brighter, wrapping them both in a cocoon of blue light. Daniel's head spun. His vision blurred. He felt as though the baby was drinking something deep from inside him, more than blood, more than strength. It was as if she was taking his very soul. The mother's voice echoed beside him. Do not break the bond. Hold on, she is near the threshold. Daniel clenched his teeth. His arms shook, his whole body begging him to let go, but he refused. He held tighter. The fire in his chest roared now, hot and wild. Yet somewhere beneath the pain was something else, connection. He felt the baby's heartbeat. Weak at first, then stronger. He felt her breath, once shallow, now deeper. It was as if their lives were weaving together, thread by thread. Then, suddenly, the glow flared bright. So bright, it blinded him. The baby let out a sharp cry, louder, stronger, filled with life. Her small body jerked once, then relaxed into his arms, breathing steady and sure. The blue light faded. Darkness returned, leaving Daniel trembling on his knees. Sweat soaked his face, his body drained and heavy. He felt like he had given up a part of himself he would never get back. The mother rushed forward, taking the child gently from his arms. She looked down at the little one, her face breaking into something Daniel had not seen before, pure joy. She breathes, the mother whispered. Tears shimmered in her glowing eyes. She is alive. Daniel managed a weak smile, though his chest still burned. Good. That's good. But then the baby's eyes opened. And Daniel froze. They were not like the mother's glowing blue eyes. They were different. The baby's eyes shone with a strange golden light, pulsing faintly, almost human. The mother saw it too. Her joy faded into shock. She stared at her child, then at Daniel. "What have you done?" she whispered. Daniel's throat tightened. I don't know. I just did what you told me." The golden light in the baby's eyes flickered, then steadied. She reached a tiny hand toward Daniel, making a soft sound like she recognized him. The mother stepped back, holding her child close, her face pale. No, this was not supposed to happen. The spark was meant to heal, not to merge. Daniel struggled to his feet, his legs shaking. "Merge? What are you saying?" The mother's voice grew. Heavy. "A bond has formed. She carries part of you now. Your life, your essence, your spark. It cannot be undone." Daniel's mind reeled. He looked at the baby, her golden eyes staring at him with strange calmness. A piece of him lived inside her. Before he could speak, the forest shook with a new sound. Not the metallic hum of the hunters, but something louder, deeper, like the roar of engines. Lights cut across the sky above the trees. The mother's face turned hard. She clutched the baby tight. "They have found us again. And now, human. They will hunt you too." The sky rumbled with the sound of engines. Daniel raised his head, his heart racing. Bright lights cut across the forest canopy, sweeping the ground like search beams. Whatever was above them was getting closer. The alien mother held her baby tightly. The child's golden eyes glowed softly against the darkness. And Daniel felt a strange pull every time the little one looked at him. He didn't understand it, but deep inside, he knew it was connected to what had just happened, his spark, his life. Now bound to hers, the mother's voice was sharp and urgent. "We must move. If they see her eyes, if they feel her bond too, they will not stop until you are both taken." Daniel staggered to his feet, still weak. Who are they? Why are they after her? Why me? The mother looked at him, her silver skin flickering in the glow of her ship's faint lights. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she spoke, her words heavy like stone. "You are human. That is why." Daniel frowned. "That doesn't explain anything. I don't even know what that means. Why are humans so special to you?" To them, the mother's glowing eyes softened, but her tone remained firm. "Our people, the Illyrians, once carried the spark as you do. Long ago, it was lost. We learned to build ships that crossed stars, weapons that split worlds, but inside, we became empty. We can extend life, but we cannot create it. We can repair machines, but not souls." Her arms tightened around her baby. "Our children sometimes fall into the sleep of death, as mine did. No Illyrian touch can wake them. No technology can save them. But humans, you still carry the original. Flame, it is rare. It is dangerous. And it is why the hunters follow us." Daniel shook his head, struggling to process her words. "So you're saying, humans can do something that even your advanced species can't. Something that makes us necessary." The mother nodded slowly. "Not only necessary, feared." Daniel's stomach dropped. Feared. She stepped closer, lowering her voice as if the forest itself was listening. "There are factions among the stars who see humans as a threat. Your spark, your ability to restore life, to merge with others, terrifies them. To them, you are not weak. You're unpredictable, dangerous." Daniel felt his chest tighten. He had always thought of himself as ordinary, maybe even less than ordinary. A man fixing radios in a small town, forgotten by the world. And now she was telling him that his very existence carried something powerful enough to scare alien hunters. The baby stirred, letting out a soft sound. Her golden eyes blinked, and for a moment, Daniel felt her heartbeat inside his own chest, steady, strong, alive. The bond was real, unbreakable, he whispered, almost to himself. "What happens to me now?" The mother's expression darkened. Now, you are part of us. Your spark flows in her. If she dies, a part of you will die too. If you fall, she will weaken. Your lives are joined. That was never meant to happen. Daniel's breath caught. Never meant to happen? Then why did it? The mother looked at him with something between awe and fear. Because you gave too much. Because you are more than I believed. Before Daniel could respond, the ground shook. A beam of red light sliced through the trees not far from them. The hunters had returned, and this time, they were not alone. From the sky above, a dark shape descended. Larger than the mother's. Damaged ship, it hovered silently. Its hull black and sharp, glowing with lines of crimson. Daniel's skin prickled, just looking at it. The mother's voice turned cold. They have brought a warship. We cannot stay. She grabbed Daniel's arm, pulling him toward the edge of the clearing. Her strength surprised him. Though she looked fragile, she moved with the speed and force of someone desperate to survive as they ran. Daniel shouted over the roar of engines. Wait, you said humans are feared, even hunted. How many others know about this? How many know what we can do? I know. Mother's reply was grim. All of them. Across the stars, your kind is whispered about in fear and anger. Some call you the unbroken flame. Others call you the curse of renewal. That is your secret, human. That is what you are. The words slammed into Daniel like a blow. The unbroken flame. The curse of renewal. He didn't know which was worse. But he knew both meant danger. They broke through the trees, stumbling into a wide riverbank. The water glimmered under the starlight, rushing fast and cold. Across the river, the forest stretched endlessly. Behind them, lights cut through the trees as the hunters closed in. Daniel bent over, gasping for breath. We can't outrun them forever. What's the plan? The mother lifted her child higher against her chest. Her eyes narrowed. The plan is survival, and for that, I need you to accept what you are. Daniel looked at her, confused. What I am? I don't even know what that means. She stepped closer, her glowing eyes locking onto his. It means you are no longer just human. You are bonded. You carry her life inside you, and she carries yours. Together, you are more than either of you alone. That bond is power, Daniel. Power that the hunters want to crush before it grows. Daniel swallowed hard, staring down at the baby's golden eyes. The child reached out again, tiny fingers brushing his hand. When she touched him, warmth spread through him once more, not burning this time, but steady, grounding, and for the first time, Daniel realized something terrifying. The hunters weren't chasing just the baby anymore. They were chasing him too. The night split open with red light. The hunters had found them again. Their warship hovered above the forest, its shadow swallowing the trees. Its engines humming like a giant beast ready to strike. Daniel's lungs burned as he and the alien mother raced along the riverbank. The baby clung tightly to her, its golden eyes glowing faintly in the dark. Behind them, heavy footsteps shook the ground. The hunters were fast to fast. Daniel stumbled over a root, barely catching himself before he fell. We can't keep running, they'll catch us. The mother's silver skin rippled, glowing brighter as her eyes narrowed. Then we make them chase harder. She raised one hand, and for the first time, Daniel saw her power. Blue light flashed from her palm, striking the trees behind them. The forest lit up in a wall of fire and falling branches. For a moment, the hunters slowed, their red beams cutting through the smoke. Daniel stared, stunned. You could do that this whole time. The mother didn't look back. Power has a price. I cannot waste it. They reached a fallen log stretched across the rushing river. The mother moved quickly, balancing on it as though weight meant nothing to her. Daniel followed, his arms out, trying not to slip on the wet bark. Below, the water roared like thunder, black and endless. Halfway across, a beam of red light blasted past him, splitting the log with a burning crack. Daniel's heart stopped. The log shook violently. He dropped to his knees, gripping it with both hands. The mother leaped gracefully to the far bank, clutching her child. She turned back, shouting, "Move, human." Now Daniel forced himself forward, crawling the rest of the way. He threw himself onto the mud just as the log shattered completely, swept away into the river. But the hunters didn't stop. 3 of them appeared at the river's edge, their red eyes glowing like burning coals. One raised its clawed hand, pointing at Daniel. "The human is ours." Daniel's blood ran cold. His legs refused to move. He had never been hunted before, not like this, not with death in every step behind him. The mother grabbed his arm, pulling him to his feet. "Do not listen to them. You are not theirs. Run." They fled deeper into the woods. Branches tore at Daniel's face, mud splashed his clothes. His chest ached with every breath. But he kept running, because behind him he could hear the hunter's metal feet. Closing in, the baby stirred again, her golden eyes glowing brighter. A faint hum spread through the air, soft but growing. Daniel felt it inside his chest, to the strange bond. His own heartbeat seemed to match the child's, stronger, steadier. The mother noticed, her eyes widened. She is awakening. The bond is awakening. Daniel didn't understand, but he felt it. His legs moved faster, his lungs filled with air, as if something inside him was pushing him forward. The hunters leaped over fallen trees with ease. One raised a weapon that glowed crimson, aiming straight at Daniel's back. The mother spun, raising her hand again. A flash of blue light burst from her palm, colliding with the hunter's weapon. The explosion threw both of them back, shaking the forest floor. Daniel stumbled but kept running. He shouted, "We can't fight them all." The mother's voice was fierce. "Then we do not fight. We survive." Ahead, the trees thinned. A steep cliff rose before them, jagged rocks glowing under the moonlight. Daniel's stomach dropped. There was nowhere left to go. Behind them, the hunters closed in, their red beams slicing through the trees. The mother stood tall at the cliff's edge, her child in her arms. She turned to Daniel, her glowing eyes steady. "Trust me." Daniel shook his head. "Trust you. There's a cliff. We'll die." Her silver skin shimmered brighter, her voice calm but firm. "Not if you believe in the bond. Jump." Daniel's heart pounded in his ears. He looked over the edge. The river roared far below, crashing against jagged rocks. It was madness. The hunters emerged from the trees, their weapons glowing, their voices cold. "Give us the human. The spark belongs to us." The mother didn't hesitate. She stepped back, then leaped off the cliff, holding her baby tight. Her silver form vanished into the darkness below. Daniel stood frozen for half a second. Then the hunters turned their red eyes on him. He didn't think. He didn't plan. He jumped, the air rushed past him, cold and sharp. His body spun wildly, the roar of the river filling his ears. He thought for sure this was the end. But then he felt it. The baby's presence glowing inside him. The bond. His fear slowed. His body steadied. He hit the water hard, but it didn't break him. It wrapped around him, pulling him deep, then lifting him back toward the surface. He gasped, coughing as his head broke above the waves. The mother was already there, floating easily, her child safe in her arms. She looked at him, her eyes shining even in the storm of water. "You see?" she said, her voice carrying over the river's roar. The bond keeps you alive. Daniel clung to the current, struggling against the waves. The hunters peered down from the cliff, their red eyes burning in the night. But they did not jump. They only watched as the river carried Daniel and the mother away, their voices echoing like distant thunder. This is not the end, human. We will find you. We will take what is ours. The river swept Daniel and the mother further downstream, away from the hunters, away from the warship's shadow. But Daniel's heart was heavy. Because he knew the hunters were right about one thing. This was not the end. The river carried them. Far from the hunters, cold water rushed around Daniel, pulling him along like a leaf. His arms burned, his chest ached, but he held on. At last, the current slowed, and they washed up on a muddy shore. Daniel coughed hard, rolling onto his back. The stars above spun in dizzy circles. Beside him, the alien mother rose from the water, her silver skin shimmering in the moonlight. She cradled her child close, whispering soft words in a language Daniel could not understand. The baby's golden eyes opened again, glowing brighter than before. She blinked slowly, then stared at Daniel. He felt it instantly like a tug inside his chest, pulling him closer. The mother knelt beside him, her eyes searching his face. "You are weak," she said softly. "You gave much of yourself." Daniel groaned, forcing himself to sit up. "I don't feel weak," he admitted. "I feel strange. Like something's alive inside me that wasn't there before." The mother's expression grew serious. "It is her. She carries part of you now, just as you carry part of her. That is the bond. What you gave, she keeps. What she awakens, you feel." Daniel looked down at the child, who reached out with tiny fingers. When she touched his hand, warmth spread through him, steady, strong. Not draining this time, but filling. For the first time since the night began, he did not feel only fear. He felt connection, but the peace did not last. A distant rumble shook the ground beneath them. Daniel looked back toward the forest. Red light flickered between the trees. The hunters were still searching. The mother stood, her silver form shining faintly. They will not stop. They will follow us until they succeed. You must understand what that means, human. Daniel got to his feet, his body sore but steady. It means I'm part of this now. Whether I like it or not, the mother's eyes softened. Yes, you carry the flame. And now, you carry her future. The baby stirred, her golden glow growing brighter. Suddenly, the air itself trembled. Leaves shook, the river rippled. And Daniel felt a vibration deep in his bones. The mother's eyes widened. No, it is too soon. Daniel stepped back. What's happening? The child let out a soft cry, but the sound was not weak, it was powerful. Layered with strange tones that echoed through the night. The golden light in her eyes flared, spreading across her small body until she shone like a star. Daniel shielded. His face. The glow was blinding, but he could still feel it, burning through him, tugging at the bond they shared. His chest throbbed in rhythm with her glow. The mother whispered in awe, the awakening. Daniel shouted over the hum in the air. What does that mean? The ground cracked beneath them. The trees bent as if pushed by invisible hands. The baby floated upward, no longer cradled in her mother's arms, but suspended in the air, golden. Light pouring from her tiny form. The mother fell to her knees, tears in her glowing eyes. She is not just saved, she is becoming something more. Daniel's heart raced. He watched as the baby's light spread outward, forming a wave that rolled across the forest. The red beams of the hunters in the distance flickered, then shattered. The metallic hum of their machines twisted into screams, then silence. Daniel's jaw dropped. She She'd just stop them. The mother nodded, her voice shaking. The bond changed her. Your spark mixed with hers. She carries human fire now. And with it, power beyond any Illyrian child. The baby lowered slowly, the golden glow dimming until she rested safely in her mother's arms again. She breathed softly, peacefully, as if nothing had happened. The forest was silent. The hunters were gone. Daniel stood frozen, his mind spinning. She saved us. She has power they couldn't stop. The mother looked at him with eyes full of both gratitude and fear. Yes, but power draws enemies. Now, they will hunt her even more. And they will hunt you, human, because they know what created this change. Daniel stared at the child, her small hand curled against her mother's chest. The bond tugged at him again, steady, unbreakable. He whispered, "So what happens now?" The mother rose to her feet, her silver skin glimmering under the fading moonlight. "Now, you must decide. Will you return to your world and pretend this night never happened? Or will you walk with us into the shadows between stars?" Daniel's chest tightened. He thought of his small workshop, his quiet life, the ordinary man he had been just hours ago. That life felt gone, lost, because nothing about him was ordinary anymore. He looked at the baby, her golden eyes opening again, fixing on him with strange calmness. In that gaze, he saw not only life, but destiny. He shook his head slowly. "I don't think I have a choice, do I?" The mother gave a faint smile, though her eyes still held sorrow. "No, Daniel. The moment you touched her, your choice was made." The forest around them grew quiet. The night air was heavy with new silence, but Daniel knew it would not last. Somewhere above, beyond the stars, others would already know. Hunters, rulers, powers he could not imagine. The mother looked up at the sky. They will come. Some will beg. Some will threaten. Some will kill. All for what you are. Daniel followed her gaze, his fists tightening at his sides. The fear was still there, deep inside him. But beside it burned something else, something new. The spark. And as the baby's golden eyes glowed faintly in the dark, Daniel realized one thing with absolute certainty. This was only the beginning.